Hello students, I welcome you all to today's session. I hope all of you are doing perfect at your places. Today's topic is motion and measurement of distances. Learning objectives: journey of means of transport, need to measure time, length and distance, measurement, standard units of measurement, measuring the length accurately, measuring the length of a curved line, motion and then types of motion. We often need to measure lengths and distances. For example, a cloth merchant needs to measure the cloth for selling it. Similarly, a tailor needs to measure the length of the cloth to stitch a suit. In the same way, sometimes one needs to know how far a place is so that he or she can decide whether to go by train, bus, rickshaw or not. तो आपको measurement की ज़रूरत आपको हर टाइम होती ही है. चाहे कपड़े की हो गई, किसके लिए बनाना है तो आपको मेजर करना पड़ता है. कहीं ट्रैवल करना है तो कितना डिस्टेंस है, कितना टाइम लगेगा, कितना टाइम आपके पास है. इन सब चीज़ों की वजह से मेजरमेंट आपको किसी ना किसी टाइम पे किसी ना किसी चीज़ का करना पड़ता है. नाउ जर्नी ऑफ मीन्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट. Man had been very curious since very beginning. He used to go from place to place in search of new places and means of livelihood. In the ancient time when there were no means of transportation, he used to walk from one place to another. Animals like horse, donkey, elephant, etc. were used to carry loads and goods. For travelling along the water routes, boats and rafts were used to transport goods. Every boat were simple logs of wood with a hollow cavity. The invention of the wheel revolutionized the transport history, while design was improved over thousands of years. Till the beginning of the 19th century, people depended on animals for transportation of goods. Animals were used to pull vehicles that moved on wheels. Popular vehicles like the bicycle were invented in the late 18th century. The first bicycles made did not have any brakes, and it was up to the rider to control the speed or stop the bicycle with his feet. An exciting development was the fitting of motors onto the bicycles. The steam engine and the railroad too were invented in the 19th century. The invention of the steam engine introduced a new source of power for transportation. Rail tracks were made for steam engine driven carriages and wagons to transport goods. The era of flying began when the Wright brothers invented aeroplane and electric trains, monorails, supersonic aeroplanes and spacecrafts are some of the contributions of the 20th century. Rocket technology is one of the most important inventions of the last 100 years. It has given humans a way of traveling into space and discovering a whole new world. तो बहुत पहले के टाइम से ही ह्यूमन बींग्स हैव लव्ड टू ट्रैवल बिकॉज ऑफ डिफरेंट पर्पसेस. पहले खाना वगैरह ढूंढने के लिए ट्रैवल करते थे, बाद में और मॉडर्न मीन्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट आए तो फिर ट्रैवल करने के लिए, एक्सप्लोर करने के लिए घूमने लग गए. फिर व्हील्स के इन्वेंशन के बाद आपका एग्जैक्टली ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का रेवोल्यूशन स्टार्ट हो गया था. बट इनिशियल डेज में जो आपके व्हील्स से बनने वाले व्हीकल्स भी थे उसमें ब्रेक्स नहीं हुआ करते थे. अगर किसी को अपना व्हीकल रोकना है तो कैसे रोकते थे? पैरों से रोकते थे. फिर धीरे धीरे राइट ब्रदर्स ने एयरप्लेन बनाया, फिर सुपरसोनिक जेट्स, वो सब 20th सेंचुरी की देन है, जिसके बाद से ट्रैवल बहुत ही आपका आसान हो गया है. Now, need to measure time, lengths and distances. In our day-to-day life, measurement of time and distance or length is a very common practice. There are so many instances when one needs to measure the time, lengths and distances. Any quantity that can be measured is called a physical quantity. Length, breadth, mass, time, etc. are some physical quantities. Time when you get up, time when you reach school, and time spent to reach school. To know the dimensions of a table, we have to measure its length, breadth and height. To know the distance between two cities, the length in the straight or the curved path joining the two cities should be measured. A carpenter needs to know the length and breadth to make a door or cupboard. A tailor measures the length of the cloth to know whether it is enough to make the required ड्रेस. अब आपका आता है लेंथ्स को मेजर करना, डिस्टेंसेस को, टाइम को मेजर करना. इट इज़ रियली इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर टाइम का आपको पता नहीं चलेगा तो आपको स्कूल जाने का कोई टाइम नहीं होगा, पहुंचने का टाइम आपको पता नहीं चलेगा. पहुंचने का टाइम आप पहले मेजर करोगे, डिस्टेंस आप देखोगे. आपको किसी भी टेबल का अगर आपको मेजरमेंट देना है तो आपको उसका विड्थ, ब्रेड्थ, ये सब चीज़ आपको पता होनी चाहिए. सो मेजरमेंट ऑफ डिफरेंट थिंग्स इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस. लेट्स सी द मेजरमेंट. Measurement involves the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known fixed quantity of the same kind. This known fixed quantity is called a unit. The units are mostly chosen on the basis of convenience or some logic. Each measurement consists of a number describing the numerical value of the measure and the unit in which the quantity is measured. For example, if the distance of your school from your home is 2 kilometers, then 2 is the number and kilometer is the unit of length. तो आपको मेजरमेंट करने के लिए डिस्टेंसेस को भी मेजर करना पड़ता है आपको. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपको अपने घर से स्कूल तक का डिस्टेंस मेजर करना है, इट इज़ 2 किलोमीटर्स, तो 2 नंबर हो गया. किलोमीटर इज द यूनिट विच इज यूज टू मेजर द डिस्टेंस. Now we cannot measure objects without actual measurement. It is not easy to find out the exact length, time or distance by mere observation. However, measurement of short length, rough estimates can be made with the hand span, cubit or foot. In ancient India, people used to measure lengths with an angul, finger or muthi, which is fist. These are the examples of arbitrary units. तो आपका पहले के टाइम पे जब मेजरमेंट यूनिट्स नहीं हुआ करते थे, डिवाइसेस नहीं होते थे, तो लोग अपने हाथों का, फिंगर्स का, मुट्ठी का इस्तेमाल किया करते थे मेजरमेंट करने के लिए. बट अगेन ये आपके सॉलिड तरीके नहीं है, बिकॉज मेरी मुट्ठी इतनी है, किसी और हट्टे कट्टे इंसान की मुट्ठी से ही मोटी हो सकती है, तो मेजरमेंट में डिफरेंसेस देखने को मिल सकते हैं. So standard units of measurement. Ancient people measured length by comparing the length of the object with the length of certain body parts such as palm, the hand span, the foot step, the cubit which is the forearm, the length of the outstretched arm from the chin, and these were used as the units of length. Again, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे कुछ ऐसा कुछ कॉन्क्रीट नहीं था, तो हाथों का यूज़ कर लिया करते थे, हैंड स्पैन का यूज़ कर लिया करते थे, क्यूबिट का यूज़ करते थे, फुट स्टेप्स का यूज़ किया करते थे मेजर करने के लिए. बट अगेन ये आपका एक एक्यूरेसी इसमें आपकी बहुत ज़्यादा कम हुआ करती थी बिकॉज ऑफ द सेम रीज़न. मेरी हाइट अगर एक सर्टेन हाइट की हूँ मैं, मेरे से लंबा कोई है तो उसका हाथ भी मेरे से लंबा ही होगा, उसका पैर भी मुझसे लंबा ही होगा, तो मेजरमेंट में डिस्क्रिपेंसीज आ जाएंगी, एक्यूरेसी जीरो हो जाएगी. But such units of measurements were not reliable because they varied from person to person, from place to place, and were affected by local conditions. As the time passed, each country developed its own system of units and measurement. But this created a lot of problems in commercial dealings. The same quantity would appear different to different people. Now, did you know all measurements are made by exact comparison with a standard of the same kind? Each accepted standard of measurement is called a unit. Quite often, the same quantity can be described in terms of more than one kind of units. तो आपके measurement systems होते हैं, same kind को measure करने के लिए आपको एक certain unit को determine करा जाता है. Again, जो आपके पहले यूज़ किए जाते थे वो reliable थे नहीं, इसीलिए अलग अलग countries ने अपने systems को develop करना शुरू कर दिया. Now there is an activity to compare different units of measurements. Measure the length of your school desk in handspan, cubit and arm length. Record your observations in the table given below. Compare your result with 3 of your classmates and your teacher. आपको क्या करना है? आपको एक डेस्क पकड़ लेना है अपने क्लासरूम का, आपको अपने फ्रेंड्स, टीचर का भी यूज़ करना है, आपको अपने हैंडस्पैन, क्यूबिट और आर्म लेंथ से आपको मेजर करना है सेम टेबल, आपकी टीचर को भी, आपको भी और आपके 2 से 3 फ्रेंड्स को भी. अब आपको खुद ही अपने रिजल्ट्स में, ऑब्जर्वेशंस में डिस्क्रिपेंसीज दिखने लग जाएंगी डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हाइट एंड द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स एंड टीचर. You will observe that your results differ a little from the results of your classmates, but there is a big difference between the results of students and the teacher. This is because there is not much difference in the body size of the students, but there is a big difference between the body sizes of the students and the teacher. Now there is another activity to measure the length in footsteps. Measure the length of your classroom with your footsteps. Compare your result with 3 of your classmates and your teacher. Record your observations in the given table. अब आपको यूज करना है पैरों का, footsteps का. Again, one has to be your teacher, one has to be you, and then आपके 2 से 3 friends. एक ही सेट एरिया होना चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल 10 मीटर 50 मीटर आप ले लीजिए, उतने ही एरिया के बीच में आप सभी को अपने पैरों का यूज़ करते हुए मेजरमेंट करनी है. एंड देन इसमें भी आप ऑब्जर्व करोगे, आपको डिस्क्रिपेंसी देखने को मिलेगी ही मिलेगी डिपेंडिंग अपॉन ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन्स फुट साइज. फॉर प्रॉपर डीलिंग, ईच मेजरमेंट मस्ट बी the same for everybody. Thus, the need for uniformity in measurement was arised. The unit that could be used everywhere as a basic unit of measurement is called a standard unit. A standard unit is a standard measure that has some definite and convenient quantity in it so that it remains the same whenever, whoever and wherever it is used. It helps to reproduce a certain quantity accurately and understand the meaning of measured quantity. In 1960, the General Conference of Weights and Measures recommended a common system called International System of Units, which is the SI unit system. It has been accepted by scientists all over the world for the sake of uniformity. अब यहीं पर आपका यूज आ जाता है मेजरमेंट का, स्टैंडर्ड यूनिट ऑफ मेजरमेंट का, ताकि पूरे वर्ल्ड में किसी भी कोने में किसी भी भाषा को बोलने वाला इंसान जब मेजर करे तो सबको वो चीज समझ में आए, डिस्प्ले करे तो पूरी दुनिया को समझ में आए, चाहे कहीं पर भी कोई भी उसको किसी भी तरीके से यूज कर रहा है. इसी वजह से 1960 में आया आपका इंटरनेशनल सिस्टम ऑफ यूनिट्स विच इज द एसआई यूनिट्स और एसआई यूनिट सिस्टम, जिसको ग्लोबली हर कंट्री के साइंटिस्ट ने एक्सेप्ट करा. Now there is a Factopedia. In India, the National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi, maintains standards of SI units and calibrates the national standards of weights and measures. तो इंडिया में नेशनल फिजिकल लैबोरेटरी है न्यू दिल्ली में, जो SI यूनिट्स का स्टैंडर्ड्स को मेंटेन करती है. Now let's study about the SI units of length and distance. Length refers to the distance between any 2 points or places. The SI unit of length or distance is meter. The symbol of meter is m. Quite often we have to measure larger or smaller length or distances. In such cases we use bigger or smaller units of length or distance. तो आपका distance का SI unit meter है, symbol होता है इसका m. और कभी कभी लार्जर एरियाज और छोटे एरियाज को जब आपको मेजर करना होता है उसके लिए अलग अलग यूनिट्स आपकी यूज करी जाती हैं. फॉर लार्जर लेंथ्स such as the length of a road or the distance between the cities, the unit kilometer km is used. For smaller lengths, the unit decimeter dm is used, or centimeters cm is used. Then centimeter cm is a unit for measuring length of pencil length and width of your science book, etc. And then millimeter mm is a unit for measuring the thickness of a cord, डायमीटर और थिन वायर एटसेट्रा. अब आपको सिटीज के बीच में रोड का डिस्टेंसेस वगैरह आपको मेजर करना है तो किलोमीटर्स का यूज हो जाता है. स्मॉलर लेंथ के लिए डेसीमीटर या फिर सेंटीमीटर होता है. सेंटीमीटर आपकी बुक की लेंथ, छोटे मोटे टेबल की लेंथ, पेंसिल की लेंथ के लिए भी यूज किया जाता है. मिलीमीटर आपके कॉर्ड या फिर थिन वायर की डायमीटर की थिकनेस का पता लगाने के लिए किया जाता है. Now we have multiples. 1 decameter DAM is equal to 10 meters, 1 hectometer is equal to 10 meters, 100 meters, and 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. Sub multiples, 1 meter is equal to 10 decimeters, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters, and 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeter. Now measuring the length accurately. Accurate measurement of any object is very essential. To make accurate measurement, we need a proper measuring device. The choice of the measuring device depends on the size and shape of the object and the degree of accuracy needed. Some commonly used length measuring devices are, number 1 is ruler or meter scale used for measuring straight objects. अब accuracy के लिए आपके certain ऑब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं जो स्पेसिफिक चीजों को मेजर करने के लिए यूज करे जाते हैं. जैसे स्ट्रेट ऑब्जेक्ट्स को आपको मेजर करना है, आप स्केल का यूज कर सकते हैं. And then for measuring tape used for measuring curved as well as straight object. Measuring tape can be used for measuring the girth of a tree or the chest of a person. Measuring tape आती है straight objects के लिए भी आप उसे यूज कर सकते हो और curved path के लिए भी. For example tree हो गया, tree का girth आपको अपना पता लगाना है, measuring tape का यूज आप कर सकते हो. chest का पता लगाना है, measuring tape का आप यूज कर सकते हैं. Now to measure the length of an object accurately, follow the instructions given below. The scale should be placed along the length to be measured. It should be placed very close to the object to be measured. Do not start measurement from the broken or damaged end of the scale. If the zero end of the scale is broken, start measurement from some other mark of the scale. Then the actual length of the object is equal to the difference between the readings of the 2 points. अब straight point है, scale का आप use कर सकते हैं and make sure broken scale नहीं होना चाहिए. Zero का mark अगर absent है तो 1 या 2 specific point से start करिए, तभी आपको actual length पता चल पाएगी. Then keep the eye in the line with the point of measurement. If the eye is not in the line with the point of measurement, the measurement length will be either shorter or longer than the actual length. आंखों को बिल्कुल सटीक point पर रखना है, straight रखना है, तभी आपको actual length पता लग पाएगी. Then we have the activity to measure length using the meter scale. Take out the meter scale from your geometry box, observe the markings on it. You will find that on one side there are marks in inches and on the other side there are marks in centimeters and millimeters. Measure the length of your geometry box using meter scale. Measure the length of your geometry box in centimeters, millimeters and inches. Record your observations in the table given below and compare your results with your classmates' result. अब आपको क्या करना है? You have to take your geometry box. तो सब length आपको measure करना है centimeters, millimeters और inches में. अपने क्लासमेट्स को भी बोलिए सिमिलर एक्टिविटी करने के लिए एंड सी द डिफरेंसेस एंड जस्ट write it down. You will observe that the length of the geometry box measured by you and your classmates is the same in all the class. क्योंकि आपका geometry box का एक certain size है, जो measurement के लिए आप चीज़ use कर रहे हो वो भी एक definite है, तो सबका जो आंसर होगा वो same ही होगा. Now measuring the length of a curved line. The length of a curved line cannot be measured with the help of a meter scale. This is because meter scale is straight and cannot be bent along the curved line. The length of a curved line can be measured on a sheet using a thread. तो thread का use आपको करना पड़ेगा curved line के लिए, क्योंकि scale का use करते हुए आप curved line का measurement accuracy से नहीं बता पाएंगे. Now there is an activity to measure a curved line. Suppose you have to measure the length of a curved line like the one shown in the figure given below. Take a long thread and put a knot on one of its ends. Mark small segments like AB, BC, CD, etc. on the curved line which are nearly straight. Place the knot on point A on the curved line. Holding the knot at the point A with your left hand, stretch the thread along AB and press at point B with your right thumb. Now shift your left thumb to point B and press the thread with it. Stretch the thread with your right hand till point C is reached. Bring your left thumb to point C and then stretch till the point D is reached. Continue the process till you reach the point, the end of the curved line, that is point L, and put an ink mark on the thread when it reaches the end point L. Now stretch the thread along a meter scale and measure the length between the knot and the ink mark. This is the length of the given curved line. कर्व लाइन है, उसको अलग अलग पॉइंट्स में आप डिवाइड कर देंगे, ए से लेकर जहां तक आपकी मार्किंग आ रही है. थ्रेड आपको लेना है, पहले स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट पे रखना है, फिर सेकंड पॉइंट पे रखना है, थंब से उसको प्रेस करना है, थंब प्रेस करने के बाद दूसरा थ्रेड आपको तीसरी जगह पे लेकर आना है. ये आपको कंटिन्यूसली करते रहना है जब तक आपकी कर्व लाइन का एंड नहीं आ जाता. जैसे ही एंड आ जाएगा, थ्रेड पे पेन से मार्किंग कर दीजिए. आप जैसे ही आप इसको स्ट्रेट करोगे, किसी स्केल पे आप लगाओ उस थ्रेड को, आपको एग्जैक्ट मेजरमेंट विद एग्जैक्ट एक्यूरेसी पता चल जाएगा. Now we have motion. We see two different types of objects around us. The objects which do not change their position, such as houses and trees, and the objects which change their position from time to time, such as birds and people. The objects which do not change their position with time are said to be at rest, while the objects which change their position with time are said to be in motion. तो बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी होती हैं जो आपकी कभी मूव नहीं करती हैं, जैसे हाउसेज, ट्रीज एक ही जगह पे रहते हैं, एंड देन लोग, एनिमल्स, ये सब मूव करते रहते हैं. एंड द थिंग्स विच डू नॉट मूव आर थिंग्स विच आर सेड टू बी एट रेस्ट, एंड द थिंग्स विच मूव आर सेड टू बी एट मोशन. Now the same object may be at rest at one moment and in motion at some other. Any object is said to be in the state of rest or motion relative to a fixed point. Such a fixed point is called a reference point and it is chosen arbitrarily. Let us imagine ourselves to be sitting inside a compartment of a running train. Take a situation when everybody in the compartment is sitting at rest, then each passenger is at rest relative to the compartment as well as with respect to the other passengers. But if we consider any point outside the compartment, such as a platform as the reference point, then the compartment as well as the passenger in it are in motion. This example shows that the same object may be at rest with respect to one reference point and in motion with respect to another at the same time. So we can say that the motion in a body is actually a relative motion and the states of rest and motion are relative. तो कभी कभी क्या होता है, कभी कभी कोई चीज़ें मोशन में होती हैं और दूसरे ही पल वो किसी और चीज़ के रिलेशन में रेस्ट पे रहती हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप अपने किसी भी कंपार्टमेंट में या कहीं पे भी बैठे हुए हो, आप ट्रेन आप देख रहे हो, you are at rest with respect to other passengers also you are at rest, but ट्रेन आपकी मूविंग है. बट अगर बाहर से कोई अगर आपको देखेगा देन आप भी मूव कर रहे हो, you are also at motion और ट्रेन तो मोशन में है ही. सो मोशन और रेस्ट का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, इट इज एक्चुअली relative concept. Now let's see different types of motion. Everything in the universe is in motion. The earth moves around the sun, the moon moves around the earth, and so on. All the motions are not alike. The earth is revolving around the sun and rotating about its axis. Similarly, the motion of a bus along a straight road is different from the motion of a bird. Thus, there are different types of motions. तो motion आपका जो movement होता है human beings में, अलग अलग objects में आपको differ करता हुआ ये दिखाई देगा. Now, number one is translatory motion. The motion in which a body moves as a whole and every point on it moves the same distance is called the translatory motion. The motion of a cycle, of a falling apple, etc. is called translatory motion. In fact, most of the moving objects undergo translatory motion. The path of a body undergoing translatory motion may be either linear, curved or irregular in shape based on the path. Translatory motion may be of the following types. अब translatory motion क्या होता है? जहाँ पे आपकी पूरी की पूरी बॉडी एक साथ जब चलती है, मोशन में होती है, तो इट मूव्स एज अ होल. इसमें भी आपके फर्दर अलग अलग टाइप्स होते हैं. पहला है लीनियर और रेक्टिलीनियर मोशन. The movement of a body along a straight line is called a linear or rectilinear motion. Some examples of linear or rectilinear motion are the distance of a bullet fired from a gun up to a some point or distance, the motion of a car along a straight road, and a stone or an apple falling from a certain height. अब rectilinear motion का मतलब straight line में आपका करेगा. For example, ऊपर से आप सेब को फेंकोगे until and unless external forces apply नहीं हुए हैं, बाहर से आपने धक्का मार दिया सेब को तो अलग बात है, अदरवाइज फेंक दिया एक लाइन में आपका नीचे की तरफ वो फॉल होता हुआ आएगा. Rectilinear path. Then you have curvilinear or circular motion. The movement of a body along a curved path is called a curvilinear motion. The motion of a car along a curved road is an example of the curvilinear motion. The movement of a body along a circular path is called circular motion. Circular motion is a special type of curvilinear motion. तो कर्वीलिनियर मोशन या सर्कुलर मोशन क्या होता है आपका, जिसमें आपका मूवमेंट कर्व्ड पाथ पे आपका रहता है. पूरा का पूरा गोल हो सकता है, ओवल हो सकता है या फिर कर्वी भी हो सकता है. Then whirling of a stone tied to a string is an example of circular motion. आपने धागे में कोई भी चीज बांधी और जोर से गोल गोल उसको घुमाया तो वो पूरा का पूरा गोल सर्कुलर पाथ में घूमता रहता है. Then third is random motion. The translatory motion of a body which keeps on changing its direction in a disorderly manner is called the random motion. Some examples of random motion are the motion of a fly and the motion of a football or hockey player on the ground. अब random motion जहाँ पे कोई specified direction नहीं होता है. अब फुटबॉल खेल रहे हो, बॉल को आप फेंकोगे, जिस डायरेक्शन में फेंकोगे वो किसी भी डायरेक्शन में जा सकता है. Random motion. These are your random motions. Then you have rotational motion. The motion of a body in which every particle on it moves along a circular path about a fixed axis is called the rotational motion. Some examples of rotational motion are the motion of a spinning top, a merry-go-round, rotation of the earth about its axis, movement of the blades of a fan and the motion of a potter's wheel. अब आपका आता है rotational motion, जहाँ पे जो भी आपका ऑब्जेक्ट होगा जब वो घूमता है तो हर एक पार्टिकल भी उस ऑब्जेक्ट का फुल रोटेशनल मोशन में आपका मूव करेगा. Then you have uniform and non-uniform motion. A motion in which a specific distance being covered in a particular period is called the uniform motion. Soldiers in a march past exhibit uniform motion. अब uniform motion आपका एक particular जो motion होगा वो एक specified time में same तरीके का motion आपको दिखाएगा. Then a motion in which speed differs with respect to time is called the non-uniform motion. For example, a toddler walking or running shows non-uniform motion. अब जहाँ पे आपका with respect to time और with respect to distance दोनों differ कर जाते हैं आपके अलग अलग time पे, it is said to be non-uniform. Then you have the periodic motion. The motion which repeats itself at a regular interval of time is called a periodic motion. Some examples of the periodic motion are the motion of moon around the earth, the motion of the earth around the sun, the heartbeat in a healthy person and the motion of the pendulum of a clock. A periodic motion एक set period of time के बाद वो वापस अपने आप को वो motion repeat करता है. For example, earth rotates or revolves around the sun. फिक्स टाइम है, 24 आवर्स में रोटेट करता है 20 और 365 डेज में रिवॉल्व एक रेवोल्यूशन खत्म करता है, फिर दोबारा शुरू कर देता है. दिस इज योर पीरियोडिक मोशन. नाउ यू हैव चेक योरसेल्फ, फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स इन दीज क्वेश्चंस यू हैव टू आंसर ऑन योर ओन. Now, did you know small and rapid oscillations are called vibrations? Small and rapid to and fro movement of a body or a part of it from its mean position is called vibratory motion. Vibratory motion produces sound. For example, if you plug the string of a sitar or guitar, it moves to and fro slightly from its mean position. This movement of the string exhibits vibratory motion. तो आपका बहुत small और rapid oscillations जब होते हैं, we call it the vibrations of any kind of object. The number 5 is oscillatory and vibratory motion. The to and fro motion of a body along the same path is called the oscillatory motion. The oscillatory motion is a kind of periodic motion. Some examples of oscillatory motions are motion of the pendulum of a wall clock, a child in a swing, motion of the heart muscles in a healthy person. अब आपका जो oscillation यानी कि to and fro एक specified time और specified जगह के बीच में होता है. ऐसे आपकी वॉल क्लॉक अगर पेंडुलम वाली आप देखेंगे तो पेंडुलम आपका टू एंड फ्रो बैक एंड फोर्थ बहुत जल्दी जल्दी आपका मूव करता रहता है, ऑसिलेशन कंप्लीट करता है उसी स्पेसिफाइड जगह पे. तो दिस इज योर वाइब्रेटरी और ऑसिलेटरी मोशन, इसको पीरियोडिक मोशन भी कहा जा सकता है. Then you have an activity to understand oscillatory and vibratory motion. Tie the two ends of a string tightly and then plug the string with your fingers. What do you observe? Throw a small piece of stone into the undisturbed water of a pond. Now what do you observe? In both the cases you observe very fast to and fro vibrations and vibration also produces sound. String लीजिए, tightly उसको खींचिए, बीच से हल्का सा प्लग करिए, आपको to and fro vibrations भी दिखेंगे and vibrations से फिर आपका sound भी produce होता है. Now body is executing two or more types of motion. Some of the bodies in motion may execute two or more types of motion at the same time. For example, a running vehicle, say a bicycle, executes both translatory as well as rotatory motion. The wheels of the bicycle execute rotatory motion and the bicycle itself executes translatory motion in moving from one place to another. अब आपकी कुछ ऐसी बॉडीज होती हैं जो मोशन में आपके दो या दो से ज़्यादा मोशंस को भी एग्जिबिट कर सकती हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल बाइसिकल जब आपकी चलती है तो उसकी जो व्हील्स होती हैं वो तो आपका रोटेटरी मोशन शो करती हैं, स्ट्रेट पाथ पे चलेगी तो ट्रांसलेट, और पूरी साइकिल आपकी ट्रांसलेटरी मोशन शो करती है, और जब आपकी साइकिल कर्व पाथ पे अगर घूमने लग जाएगी तो आपका रैंडम मोशन भी शो कर सकती है. सो वन बॉडी बट एग्जिबिटिंग मल्टीपल मोशंस. नाउ ग्लिम्स ऑफ द चैप्टर. Physical quantity, any quantity that can be measured. Unit and accepted standard of measurement. Cubit, the distance between the tip of the middle finger of the outstretched arm and the elbow. Standard unit, a universally accepted unit of measurement. Reference point, any object is said to be in the state of rest or motion relative to a fixed point. Translatory motion, motion in which all the parts of an object move through the same distance in the same interval of time. Linear or rectilinear motion, the movement of a body along a straight line. Curvilinear motion, the movement of a body along a curved path. Circular motion, the movement of a body along a circular path. Random motion, the translatory motion of a body which keeps on changing its direction in a disorderly manner. Rotational motion, motion in which a body moves about a fixed axis without changing its position. Then you have uniform motion, a motion in which a specific distance is being covered in a particular period. Then non-uniform motion, a motion in which speed differs with respect to time. Periodic motion, motion that repeats itself after regular intervals of time. Oscillatory motion, the to and fro motion of a body along the same path. Then vibration, small and rapid oscillations, and vibratory motion, small and rapid to and fro movement of a body or a part of it from its mean position. Now the summary of the chapter. Measurement is the comparison of an unknown quantity with a certain fixed quantity of the same kind. In ancient times, length of the foot, step, arm, cubit and handspan were used as units of measurement, but these varied from person to person. In modern era, international system of units, SI is used all over the world. It is accepted all over the world. The objects which do not change their position with time are said to be at rest, and the objects which change their positions with respect to time are said to be in motion. The motion in which a body moves as a whole and every point on it moves the same distance is called the translatory motion. The motion of a body along a straight line is called a linear or rectilinear motion. The movement of a body along a curved path is called curvilinear motion. The movement of body along a circular path is called a circular motion. The translatory motion of a body which keeps on changing its direction in an orderly or disorderly manner is called a random motion. The motion of a body in which every particle in it moves along a circular path about a fixed axis is called the rotational motion. The motion in which a specific distance is being covered in a particular period is called a uniform motion. A motion in which speed differs with respect to the time is called the non-uniform motion, and a motion which repeats itself at a regular interval of time is called the periodic motion. The to and fro motion of a body along the same path is called the oscillatory motion. Small and rapid to and fro movement of a body or a part of it from its mean position is called the vibratory motion. So in this entire chapter हमने motions, different kinds of motions के बारे में पढ़ा. With that we're done with this chapter. Please go through the entire chapter once again properly, and the exercise questions please do it yourselves.